You guys want to see something cool? Try it to microphone. Okay. Now that that bullshit is out of the way, I figured it was probably time for an update for you guys. It's been long overdue, but this one's a big one, and we're gonna jump right into it. So here's the deal. I am obviously not in a truck. I am at home in my humble abode here, in the small Texas town that I have decided to take up a residence in. The deal is that I have quit trucking. And when I say quit trucking, I mean I have absolutely quit trucking. I do not have any intentions of ever putting myself back in a truck again. There's a good reason for that. And the reason is because no matter what I tried to do, I couldn't seem to be happy while driving a truck. I had a friend last year tell me that I deserved a better life than the one that I was living, and he meant being a truck driver. The money's good. The traveling, if all you really want to see is the scenery and you don't want to get out of the truck or go do anything or ever do anything, then trucking is okay, you know? Am I glad I did it? Absolutely. I've done it for 12 years and I poured my heart and my soul into that. I've done everything from reefer and to flatbed to in dump to pneumatic to dry van. I have done local deliveries. I have done over the road. I have done a dedicated lane. I've done everything. Not not everything. I haven't done heavy haul. But I have done pretty much everything. And I have been in the trucking industry for 12 years. And in the last year or so, I have been unable to find a balance that works for me. And it became fairly obvious to me over the last month that I had a choice between being a truck driver and only ever driving a truck and just not having a life or having a life and concentrating on trying to build the life that I want. And I decided about 2 weeks ago that the best thing for me was to quit and to come home and to concentrate on trying to build the life that I want. This house that I'm sitting in is a 100-year-old house. It's not mine. It belongs to a friend's parents, and I rent it from them, but it is essentially mine in the fact that I'm responsible, as far as I'm concerned, for the repairs and maintenance on the house, and it needs some work and some things that need to be finished. And I never have the time when I'm driving a truck, and I'm always tired when I get home, and I don't want to do anything but just have fun because all I've done for the last, you know, 30 days, 60 days, the last time was 78 days on the road. All I have done is work. All I have done is exist inside of a truck. And I'm tired of it, in all honesty. Um, Now the realization for this kind of came from a trip that I took starting on October 8th of 2025 where I bought a van. First off, that's something that we should talk about. And I'll put a picture up here so that you guys can see the van. And in that van, I converted the back to a bed, a full size bed. And here's a picture of that. And I immediately took off and went to the Ouachitas. I took off for 2 weeks because I was going to go do the poverty tour with Pole Barn Garage. And so I took off 2 weeks because the way that my dedicated run that I was on at the time worked was that I was going to have to come home on a Wednesday and I could either sit for 2 or 3 days on Wednesday or I could immediately take off. And I wanted to immediately take off. So uh, in the previous iterations of being able to get home, which I could come home for about 12 hours. And every week I could have 12 hours in the DFW Metroplex. And so for every 12 hours that I could, I tried to make the best of it. And did some work on the van when the van needed work, did the bed in the back, did the put in the CB and the antenna and all that stuff. And just made the van like the ultimate road trip vehicle. And I left on October 8th. I made a delivery to the Walmart in Lancaster on October 8th. I left out to go on this trip that I knew was going to be a trip of a lifetime, but I didn't understand why or how. not yet. And I left and I went up to the Ouachitas and I watched the sunset in the Ouachitas. I got up the next morning, watched the sunrise in the Ouachitas. Hopefully, I'm showing pictures to you right now of all that stuff. And then I drove from there over the Talahina Scenic Highway, byway, from Oklahoma to Mena, Arkansas. In Mena, Arkansas, I stopped, got some stickers, put them on the van, and then I drove to Kansas City to see my brother and his wife and kids. I spent 2 days with them, and by then it felt pretty good. I was having a good time. I was a little trepidatious about meeting up with everybody in Joplin for the poverty tour, but I went down, I met up with everybody. Everybody was awesome, and we left for Tucson, Arizona, and the Duct Tape Drags. Over the course of the next 5 days, I lit up like a Christmas tree. The depression that I was in when I was in the truck uh, seemed to melt away, and I was laughing, I was having fun, I was enjoying people's company. I was really becoming a part of a hobby that I had always wanted to be a part of and just hadn't really been able to kind of get involved with. And now I was involved with them and made some great friends, made some lifelong friends on this trip. But the one thing that I walked away with, the realization that I came to was that I was unhappy. And from Tucson, I went to Chama, New Mexico to ride the Cumbres and Toltec. Got a friend up there. He caught me some tickets, rode the train. It was fantastic. Um, and when I left there, I made the decision that I wasn't going to get back in the truck. Um, I had been sick pretty much the entire trip. Um, couldn't understand why. I wasn't running a temperature. I was coughing up yellow phlegm. I finally figured out that the insulation in the van was probably what was making me sick. But that's another story. So I came home, went immediately to the doctor, was told to go on bed rest. I couldn't get back in the truck right away anyway. It was going to be another week. And I just decided in that week that I was tired of it. You know, I was already ready to quit, but I was considering like going and working for a little while and then quitting and being sick. I was so over it that I just decided to just quit. I just quit cold turkey. Um, because I knew that if I didn't just walk away, if I didn't just jump and try to make it work, make a living doing other things, make a living doing something else besides this, something that gets me around people on a regular basis, that if I jump back in that truck, I would stay in that truck. There was a video that I watched on TikTok from Happiness by the Mile. She was showing off her new truck that she got. And underneath it said something about it was a prison that she would choose over and over and over again. And I had this thought of like, why? Why would I choose to suffer? Why would I choose to be unhappy? Even if it's just for a little while, why would I choose to be that unhappy? So I chose not to be. I called my boss. I told him. He came and got the truck and the trailer. He said he understood and I hope that everything got better for me. And I said, okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. And then I have been buying myself time. I sold my Caprice. I sold my pickup truck yesterday. They gave me a little money in my pocket. Tomorrow, I'm going to go back to the DFW area and focus on trying to find a job that I think is going to be good for me to help out with people. But in the meantime, I don't want to. I don't want to hold a CDL anymore. I don't want to ever get back in a truck, and I understand that. But I have 25 years in the transportation industry, and whether it's preservation, railroad preservation, whether it's trucking, whether it's railroading, small railroading or whatever, I've got 25 years of just being involved in the industry. And I see it from a perspective that I think might be unique. Um, the other thing is being that I have been a driver, I understand the mental pressure, the mental weight, the toll it takes on your mentality being in that truck all day long. And I feel like I can do some sort of service for the driver themselves. So that's kind of what's going to happen here on the channel. I want to be a part of the industry, transportation overall, railroad preservation, railroading, trucking, logistics, whatever it is. I enjoy the industry, just not from the perspective of a driver's seat. And now that I've got 12 years of doing that, where I did everything, flatbed, reefer, uh, pneumatic, I've broken the law a lot. Driving a truck, I accomplished all the things that I wanted to accomplish driving a truck. And now that I've done that, I think I have the ability to kind of advocate for the driver. Because now that I've been one, I understand the pressure that a driver is under. But on top of that, I want to talk about the industry. I want to discuss it. I want to share with you the news that I find as far as the industry is concerned. And whether it's railroading or trucking or uh, shipping by airplane or shipping by ocean, whatever it is, I want to talk about it. Railroad preservation, blah blah blah. I want to talk about it, and I think that's what this channel is going to become. So that's kind of the plan. In the meantime, all of the car related stuff, the traveling stuff, and all that has moved to a different channel that I've started called Wandering Iron. It's a small channel right now. I've got about 7 videos up or so. And as I continue to engage in that hobby, engage in the world of cars or whatever, there's another word for it. The auto preservation industry or whatever you want to call it. Hot rods and classics and just cars in general. Cars and trucks and vans, obviously, I want to put all that stuff out there so that people can see it. And so that's the new channel, Wandering Iron. And if you want to go over there and check it out, I would be grateful. And if you want to stay here, I think every Sunday I'm probably going to put out a video talking about the industry. Hopefully every Sunday I'm going to put out a video talking about the industry. And I would hope that you would join me in that conversation and one that we can have on a regular basis. I'm going to be keeping this probably Big Mike Trucking. I might change it a little bit, Big Mike Transportation, but I think it's Big Mike Trucking works fine. I'm gonna keep the TikTok Big Mike Trucking, and I will probably be there talking about the industry on a regular basis. But I'm stepping out into something new, and I'm gonna give it a whirl for a little while. And I understand I got to get a regular 9 to 5 job, and I'm gonna try to do that. But in the meantime, I'll be here in my free time, talking with you guys about the industry and discussing things and things that I see and things that you see and everything. So, if you guys want to, down in the comment section, go ahead and put some questions in. We could start with those opinions about the industry, or your opinion about the industry, or ask me about my opinion about the industry, or something. But let's have an open dialogue. Let's have a conversation about the industry itself, and let's do it honestly. And that's really my main goal. So, anyway, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna do the shameful thing of saying, "Hey, like, comment, subscribe," so that I can grow the channel and everything. And that's it. So, other than that, you guys know the drill. Keep the shiny side up. See you down the road.